Yeah. All right, we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live.
Peace, peace.
Peace. All right, let me see if I can hit this live on motherfucking Instagram. Now we are live on Instagram as well. I gotta hit that, set the link up.
I get to go back to my native roots. 16 by 9. Fuck this vertical shit.
Yes, sir. All right, Rise of the Lost. We are live. Let me share the live. Share copy. See, the funny thing is, can I post it in the story? No. I can't make it as a story post on this channel. Is what it is. But anyway, first live over here. We're using a new not a new software, StreamYard, for anybody that's interested. Shout outs to Leader09. Shout outs to the real Mr. Wilkins. If y'all want to tap in on YouTube, we are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitch as well. And I wanted to go over a video that caught my attention. I got the brother Rumbling Thunder in the building, the one and the only media juggernaut. Know the fucking vibes. And he is going to join me in this wonderful conversation about an ever-prevalent topic on social media that's hit the social sphere and become one of the most popular talking points, it seems, amongst feminists in the new radical media movement. Men are not needed in today's society. I find it just odd. So we obviously are going to watch some viral content, just a little bit, but there's a specific video I wanted to look at, and it's The View. And the question they posed is, do women really need men? So we're going to jump right into it. Let me share this screen real quick. Boomski. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's run it up.
So there's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women? Most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are you.
Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna watch the whole video. We're gonna watch the whole video.
So you just gonna bring me on here and not let me know I'm about to be triggered?
No, I wanted the real raw response. We are gonna in real time. I haven't even seen the whole video myself. That's the beauty of this. I haven't even seen. I just caught wind of it. Saw someone else took clips and response. Said, "Wait a minute, what?" So before we get any further, I just want to state I don't trust anything these women are about to say. I don't care how it seems. I'm not in any way, shape, or form misogynistic, but in today's era, misandry has become like the cool hat to wear. It is openly accepted on a public level. You can take a bunch of women, put them in a room, put lights and cameras on them, and they can dog shit, bash men until Sunday come. But if you put a bunch of men in a room and try this on daytime television, the show's getting canceled that day, immediately. I just want to throw that out there. Let's watch and see what these wild Jezebels have to say.
Useless. I mean, And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you accept.
All right. Hold on.
Bro, what the fuck you got me watching, bro?
Hold on. We gotta pause it one more time before we go any further. This shit is crazy. All right, so
this is on TV?
Daytime television. This is The View, ABC. All right, so obviously they're making sure they don't accidentally offend the almighty alphabet community of LGBTQIA, Z through Y through M and N and M's. No disrespect intended there, just a lot of fucking letters. How far would women get if there were only gay men? Is a question I feel like we should really ask, because the entire infrastructure of not only our nation but the world was built by, if I'm not mistaken, majority of men who aren't gay men. I don't know. I could be wrong. I might need to go do some more personal research in that matter, but from the information I have, I don't know. Let's keep watching. You got it.
I'm about to take some notes.
I was going to say, because we got a few talking points, because we ain't even making it into the first minute of the video, and this is a 4-minute long video. So let's
yeah, I'm about to take some notes.
Yeah, let's continue watching and see what these lovely Jezebel Harlequin
before you start, I do want to say that just the overall environment of giddiness is already cringe.
Cringy.
With the subject, bro. Like, what is going on right now?
You know what it's about to be. We bashing men till the sunrise, baby. Let's continue.
Accessorize like gay men. Nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men. But with the exception of somebody like Steve, I think Steve is very self-sufficient.
That's Joy's husband.
But like my husband, it takes a village of women to make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can,
Yeah.
But you guys, feel you guys are married to people that are more.
I have Handy Manny at home. He fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables. I enjoy all the man stuff.
So wait a second. I know what you're going to say, but wait. She's really talking about a servant. Let's face it.
No,
it's a handyman she's talking about.
It's a handyman.
Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have.
Well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do that. We're not talking about that. What about the inner life of a man? That's what this is about.
I need my man 3 to 4 times a week. And good for you guys. And then the rest of the time, I need a wife.
Wait.
She just said that shit? Divorce immediately.
What's happening?
What?
Hold on. So now let's flip this and say we put men on a daytime talk show and let them all just sit around and powwow, and a bunch of men is like, I don't need my wife for anything but a hole 3 to 4 times a week. Other than that, I'm with the guys. What?
Bro, I can't believe this is on fucking TV.
And here's where it gets real wicked. Do any of these women have sons? And I hope not, because if I was a son and this was my mother, and then somebody at the school's like, yo, your mom thinks you a piece of shit. And you'd be like, what are you talking about? My mom loves me. Then they play this for you.
Right.
My whole world is going to be fake shattered, because I'm going to just be questioning like my reality, because if I'm a young boy, at some point I'm going to be a man, right? So is it I have value now as a young boy, But once I become a man, I'm valueless. Because what the fuck is the message here?
Well, this is in alignment with like a thought I've been having all day, and I've been figuring out how to process it. And there's a lot of energy spent talking about repairing broken men, when in reality, the issue that we have going on is that these type of women have raised boys who have never been built up. You can't repair something that's never been built.
You're right.
And this is the type of ideology that causes that, those type of situations where you have a single mom who devalues men at every angle, and their son doesn't have anything else to go off of. Like, this is the existence that they know. So this is how you get these effeminate men out here. This is how you get these gay besties.
Yeah.
Because they've never been taught or built up as a man. They have the ideology of a woman.
They've never been built up as a man. They have the ideology of a woman. And a woman that hate men at that, or at least publicly makes it seem as though they do.
Bro, I will go out on a limb and say the majority of men that choose to be homosexual and come from a single mom home is really searching for love from a man that they never experienced. It's just that because they've been so emasculated, those sexual urges, they don't have the ability to try to explore that with a woman. So now these two things are conflated. I got sexual energy that needs to be released, and I got the need to learn what it's like to feel love from a man. Tell me that's not what's going on.
I'm not gonna argue that. I gotta process that and sit with it, because it's wild. That's wild, because I can see the validity of it, especially if we're looking at it from a psychological lens, and the fact that at one point this was observed through a psychological lens. Let's just leave it at that before they try to ban me. Before they go nigga out before I even get in the ring.
I'm
Shit! Nah, you might have really touched on something there. I ain't gonna hold you.
To me, bro, that's what it is, man. I see that clearly. Clearly. Because at the end of the day, when you look at these parades, it's all like, it's super sexual. It's people who are expressing suppressed sexual energy. And it's frustration because it's out of order. And I would go out on a limb again to say that some of these dudes want to be with women, they just don't know how.
There was a survey done. I gotta find it, and they asked a lot of gay men if they would, or have they ever slept with women, and a lot of them said yes. A lot of them said yes. They will, they do. It ain't that big of a deal if they do. That doesn't change what their preference is. But
shit, that's another hot topic right there, bro. That's why it's so easy for them to say that they don't need us, because a lot of these bras is fucking these dudes, bro.
That part.
Or it's just friendly, like you not a threat type shit. And that's what it opens the door. That's what opened the door for some of these dudes pretending.
Yeah, no, that's big. That's been big for a little minute now. Dudes literally pretending to be effeminate just to get near women. In fact, they got a thing on TikTok where it's called like the ultimate Riz, with a dude that's super straight, to my knowledge, will literally run down on bad chicks in public and talk out of pocket, outlandish, in ways that if you come off as straight up front, you being told you a piece of shit, you a misogynist, you garbage as a man, don't talk to me like that. But he's sitting there telling Shorty to spin around, let me see it.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah, I did see that.
And she all for it. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he go from sounding mad sus to be like, yeah. So I mean, she's like, what just happened? The ultimate Riz. All right, let's continue with this madness and see what they about to say next.
Because I've always said that.
Everyone needs a wife.
No, I teased Vicky, my producer, in the morning. I was like, if you'd like to join Max and I, not in that way, but like Vicky and I could kill it as a household runners. Like we would be laughing, giggling, doing all the things, and Max would be so psyched I was wasting all my words somewhere else anyway. So it would be a perfect combo. And the other day, Caleb said to me, this is my youngest son, he said, Mama, I want a spare mom. And I didn't know what he meant. And he's like, he said, Genevieve has a spare mom. And I realized the parents were
that, a
divorced.
nanny?
No, divorced. An extra mom, like two moms. And so I asked him, because at first I was a little wounded. I was like, what am I not doing? You know, and he's like, no, I just think at bedtime, you always have to pay attention to the other kids too. And if we had a spare mom, dad, and you could, you know, then you just get to focus on me. And it was so sweet. He didn't ask for a spare dad, by the way. He asked for a spare mom.
I took this totally differently in how I prepped because broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless. Like I think in the political moment, the people who are
don't hold
saying
back.
what needs to be said in my party, it's all women. The very few men, with the exception of Mike Pence and a few others, are saying what they need to. But in life, like I need my husband. I don't know if I need any other men, but he is irreplaceable.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
But that's what we're all saying. We like our husbands. We just don't need men beyond that.
Yeah, wait till you're married 20 years and you'll see how replaceable
Well, the
they
reason
are.
that women, I think that the reason women can stay married for as long as they do is because they have a lot of girlfriends.
They have a village.
They have girlfriends. Because I always have to initiate the conversations. He'll step up, but I have
I
to
thought you were going to
start
say
them.
initiate.
Oh, I don't-
I just told you guys, I have 8 girlfriends from Panama here who are girlfriends for 50 years since they were in kindergarten.
Oh, I love
And it's
that.
and they were saying yesterday that they've gone through divorces, they've gone through challenges, and having that village of women has made it possible.
Well, we
for
are
them.
more collaborative than men. I think
Yeah.
there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because women
Again, I think we have to make a
because
difference,
women,
differentiate gay men.
No, gay men
Are
are
in their own category.
yeah, but we're
women are
not
very
married to gay men, okay?
Oh,
But women have conversations about their feelings. They talk about
It's
sports,
socializing, yeah.
cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks about his feelings with his
Maybe he's
friends.
gay. Next.
Bro, that's foul. Bro, that's so
That was
foul.
wild.
Bro, that is so
Wow.
foul.
That would be, in fact, that was disrespectful.
Bruh.
Husband shares his feelings. Maybe he's gay. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
Bruh.
All right.
What the fuck is going on in real life, bro? This is on primetime TV?
Primetime TV, daytime television in the prime slot. Mhm.
But they was talking super reckless.
Crazy. And just so we're on the same page, the producer of that show is a man.
Of course he is.
And the majority of people that work crew there are men.
Yeah, bro, but you know what I'm saying? Like I don't work production. That don't mean nothing, man, because people who work in production are like some of the most scrupulous people on planet Earth. Like they got no moral code at all. So
No, they're just there for the content.
yeah, they just there really. Honestly, a lot of them is there just to get the next job,
Yeah.
to try to put themselves in position to get the next job. And you know, the lifestyle of production is so strenuous. You don't know nothing else. You work in 17, 18-hour days. You ain't got time to be fighting no moral battles. Not if you want a job, because everybody else is capitulating. So you don't even get that type of job unless they already know you're not going to kick up no dust.
Very true.
That's how you can see why the content that is produced is the way it is. Why there's so much alphabet stew juice intertwined in it. Just because they had to pass the test to even get the job. So everybody is all on the same page already. From the producers to the script writers.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm about to say I learned that the hard way. I was invited to a diversity group as part of an international film committee. And they invited me because they quote unquote needed more melanated men. But when I got in there, you know, it was soon shown to me that the only way that I was going to survive is if I aligned with the alphabet crew. And ultimately, I became a co-chair of this group, and I got taken out by a melanated gay man.
Really?
Yeah, because the identity politics, bro. You know, this is a diversity group. So I'm speaking to the core of the people that I represent.
Yes.
They want that. I've been ostracized out of 2 diversity groups. One I founded and one I was a co-chair of.
He said when I found it. What the fuck?
That part.
What the fuck? You know, one of the wildest parts of observing that video is how they even went as far, for those that don't understand, like, how manipulation works and how young minds work. If I'm not gay, and I don't want to be associated with being gay because that's not me. That's not my cup of tea. You've now made it seem like if I express my emotions and or if I talk to people about my emotions, that insinuates that I am gay because of what you just said. So again, let's say you my mother and you doing this crazy shit. You just fucked my whole head up. You just messed up my whole universe. If I'm 13 years old, 12 years old, I might actually start questioning myself. Like, what does this mean? Because I talked to my homies about my feelings and they was making fun of me. And now my mom just confirmed this crazy shit. What does this mean?
Now, yeah, bro, that's you know, it's important for us to promote the notion of that there really is no way to be. Because you're damned if you do, damned if you don't when it comes to women. Like, they don't have a logical grasp on the emotional state of a man.
No.
They're like hell bent on trying to make us equal in that capacity. And it's not a thing. So all of this rhetoric and this, you know, the framing of these conversations is attempts to try to get us to think more like women. But then as soon as we do, then they're saying, oh, we're all the real men now. You done transformed them all. Because at the end of the day, the majority of men don't have the ability to be super choosy. Let's be honest. So they're going to align with whatever societal norms are presented just so they could have an opportunity to even play.
Indeed.
And if these are the rules that are being set, and then me as a man say, okay, well, I'm going to play by these rules, and then you telling me I'm gay now, like, that's confusing as fuck.
That's wicked. That's wicked.
Like, I'm playing by the rules you just said. And now you telling me I'm gay? like what just happened?
It's a wild, wild world. It's a wild, wild world.
But no, yeah, the first thing I wrote on there was poor Steve. That's what she said her husband's name was.
Yeah.
Because like they was talking about them dudes like they ain't existed. Like they don't exist. Like as if they will never come across the airing of this show. But that really just shows that it don't matter. Like they don't care. Like that's how low they think of men, that they don't even respect the ones that live in their house.
Right.
And that's where the one chick, she was saying, "Oh, be married for 20 years and see how replaceable they are."
Yeah. But that's the same one, if I'm not mistaken, shorty that was speaking, she married to a lawyer who's a multimillionaire. So the majority of her life and livelihood, as she's talking all that crazy shit, comes from a man. And not an inept man, but again, if I'm not mistaken, her husband's a lawyer.
Well, you know what that goes to? That goes to some men understand females' nature and they just put up with it. Like they just, because they can. Like that guy can afford to, because he can just dip out whenever the fuck he wants to.
Yeah.
And he can go buy another life. And she's not going nowhere.
No, that's real.
But, for regular society, like this is true too, but this is where, they got us by the balls, because we can't even say that as men, that females have a very specific nature that you have to dismiss.
Yeah.
But that's the fact. That's the fact, bro. Like, if we having a conversation like they not here, because they not here, but it wouldn't matter if they was. But if this were offline and we were just at the basketball court, this is what we would be talking about.
Right.
How females act, because they act a specific way. And it's just through experience when you learn those nuances, and then you can pick and choose if the female you are dealing with is worth your time, and if she's coachable or correctable or can be guided. Because like that's where I'm at right now, bro. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say that nothing we do matters and then expect me to treat you like an adult.
That's a big one.
It's either you're accountable or you're not. Period. And adults are accountable. Children are not. So
but that whole accountability thing, that's even though it's like the hot topic and the hot button word right now, so many people are the farthest thing from even the baseline concept of accountability.
No, that's true. But even for me though, it just looks like women feign a lot. So they can see something that another woman is saying that is completely batshit crazy. But they will not hold her accountable. They will fucking tap dance all around the shit to make it seem like it's not what it is. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. It's wicked. It's wicked. I mean, and the wildest part is even that whole episode, without them pushing the concept verbally of gender war, they're perpetuating the idea of the gender war. That's what that whole shit was. That's what that whole shit was. We don't need them. It's us against them to a degree. The shorty literally said, I only need my man 3 to 4 times a week. Other than that, he don't serve a purpose.
That's the second thing I wrote down. Men are for utility only.
Right.
And then after that, I wrote, this is like one of the issues is that you have women in relationships and having families even, but they've never abandoned that single city girl mentality. Which is gross in and of itself. Yes, it is. It's like that's the epitome of selfishness, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got children.
Mm-hmm. But you know, City Girl's up right now, right?
It's about to be summer.
It's about to be summer. This shit wicked, bro. Like, you can't make a lot of this up. So I would really love to have one of these counter narrative people to at some point join the conversation, because the whole conversation is odd. It's just odd. Like, there's even a viral video of there's a viral video going around of a bunch of women in the woods with a man, or in the woods with a bear, and almost unanimously the women chose the bear. And I just found that shit to be so wild. Now and then one woman said, "Yeah, no, it's because none of them never been next to a fucking bear. None of them ever seen the size and the girth and the claws and the teeth on a fucking bear." But the wild shit was, there was men that made the logical points, retorting, saying, like, you know, you're only saying that because you've never been around the bear. And then women responded to that and said, "And this is exactly why." And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's using real logic here. Yes, a man, if you're in a city passing millions of men, then the threat to you are going to be men, just numerically based on proximity. But if you're in the woods with a bear alone and it sees you, then the real question should be, would you rather be under threat of bear attack or human attack? Because the bear's gonna rip you to fucking shreds and devour.
No coming back from that.
It's gonna maul you to death. Not to say that a man won't, but again, if we're just talking numerics right now, listen, I don't know how we've regressed so much as a society as a whole, and I know men have let women down in so many different ways. So let me not overlook that as if that's not a fact. But in the same breath, humans have let each other down all across the fucking board. We've just failed as the human race. This is not a man versus woman thing. Now, it might take the men that have the ability to lead to change the course that we're on. But at a certain point, it's like the Titanic, a split second before it hits the iceberg. It might be too late to course correct.
I think it is. Because, like, this exists because of those type of shows. And as long as those type of shows are being more brazen with with presenting their stance, there's no way to go but backwards.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the worst thing I done seen on television in a long time, bro. I don't watch TV.
I don't watch TV either. If it wasn't for YouTube, I would have never even known that happened.
Yeah, no, that shit is wild to me, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be able to unsee that, and that's the problem. Is that is forever in my mind, and you cannot tell me not to use that as context when I'm having a conversation.
Oh yeah. How many millions of women saw that video?
But that's what happens though. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where you can get into a conversation with a woman and you can bring this up. Hey, did you see this? And did you see that? And they could have watched it, but they're not gonna be like, no, yeah, that was deplorable behavior. But I just posted a video like a couple of days ago, and it was like similar format. It was these two women on like a podcast type of situation, and the one lady was saying, I think it should be mandatory that all men have to go through homelessness.
Homelessness. Oh yeah, I saw that video. There was no way to escape it. As a man that's been homeless, I think that's disgusting.
Bruh. But then so then, you know, afterwards it showed a bunch of men who were actually homeless, and then they're, you know, verbalizing that part of the reason why they got into this situation was
Their partners, women.
yeah, fucked up relationship, divorces, got took for everything, right? So I got a homegirl, but I used to be in the military with, and she came in the comments talking about, oh, I find it funny how immediately after the clip, they showed a bunch of homeless men saying that divorce is the problem. And I'm like, so you ain't gonna say nothing about like how the video started? You're just gonna completely just glaze over the fact that these women just said this outlandish shit.
And a plethora of women gonna agree with it across the board.
But like that's like to me, that was a microcosm of like what happens in households.
Yeah.
When it comes to arguments or disagreements, is always about the reaction and never about the initiation of what happened. Like nobody made them women come on there and say that dumbass shit.
No.
But it's innate for a majority of women to look at the men complaining first, because that's what they see it as. It's complaining. It's not circumstantial. It's bananas. Ain't no such thing as circumstances for me.
I mean, that's the wildest part, though. If you could look at the statistics of it, of how many men have lost everything from access to their children, their livelihood, their businesses, their homes, all their money trying to fight a losing battle in court, to be shamed publicly. It's and not to say that every father, every man is a good man, because that's not the point at all. It's the point that the system and society has shown us that it's irrelevant whether you're good or not. You exist, you're a man, so 99% you're shit. Maybe somehow, some way. What she said, Mike Pence is the only exception to the dumb shit. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? What the fuck?
That was the best part of the video. Like,
Mike Pence and gay men, they're the only exception. Every other man, you're a piece of shit. It's a wild time. It's a wild, wild time.
Man, I was about to just had a thought and lost it. What was I just about to say? Well, I will say that when good men have good intentions and things go bad, then it's hard for a person to rationalize going through that again.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say is right now, if you really deconstruct all of the conversations and all of the talking points, what it looks like when you consolidate it is women are allowed to ruin men's life and run them into the ground if they get bored.
Pretty much. Oh, black baby Jesus, pretty much.
Like that's what is acceptable. That's what people, because ain't nobody saying it that poignantly, but collectively, that's what's being said. I got a right to ruin your life if you don't keep entertaining me. If you don't keep me entertained, I will destroy you.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
At some point, we're going to see the true downfall of the empire that we're existing underneath right now. Its rule, its regime, And I think the saddest fucking part is that 99.9% of those women that have all this crazy shit they've been saying about men, if and when shit hits the fan and it's like, you know, famine and war in the streets and blackout for 3 weeks and the demons are out to play, they're going to be begging men to step up and be men. They're going to be begging for the good men to please just be good men. Please protect us. Please go risk your lives for us, because we know that y'all are the ones built to do it. And now, you know, even though we were trying to destroy you a week ago, you're needed now. So please be of service. And I know so many people try to say, oh, there you go, that's the sexist shit, like women can't do it on their own. They can't. They can't. If a village gets overrun by foreign fucking invaders, no, the women can't defend the village. They can't.
I'm gonna tell you what Shorty shared with me last week, and you know, a situation played out just how, you know, we both suspected with this individual, and you know, started slinging the single mom rhetoric, right? And the one thing that happened is, you know, I was giving my perspectives, and instantaneously it went into, oh well, I've had experience with SA, and you know, women go through this, and men are the ones who do it, yada 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 yada, whatever, right? And I'm not saying that to be dismissive, but I'm saying that because in the context of the conversation, I was trying to explain to her that's not me. So by you putting me and lumping me in with that conversation, you are passive aggressively calling me that. And I'm not going to defend that position because I am not that.
Right.
So then this is where it got interesting. Where it got interesting is immediately when I said that, she was like eating her words. She really didn't even like verbalize it strongly. She said it kind of under her breath, like, well, you know, when it happens, then why don't you guys do something? And I was like, I didn't respond. I just like internalized it. And I was like, you know, this is a instance where, you know, it's about accountability, because a good man ain't always going to be around if you put yourself in a bad situation.
True.
Like, that's on you. That's on you. Like, and to think that you put yourself in a bad situation and then something bad happened, and now a good man is going to come, you know, enact some type of vengeance on your behalf. That just lets you, that you should have been fucking with that dude in the first place.
Facts.
If that's what you expect of him. So like that's where I was going back to, like, you know, there's men who understand that there is an absolute thing as female nature. And to me, it's not about that women don't know what they want. It's that in real time, they don't have the proper ability to prioritize what they want. Because it can change from one instance to the next. And that's what we got to deal with. And, you know, it's just on a macro scale now to where they're enabling each other and really quickening us towards destruction. Because what you're talking about, like that show we just watched, was gonna usher us toward that truth expeditiously.
Yeah. There's a comment on Instagram from Montanique 13. But what if it just happened and it was a stranger? And she is traumatized because that's what she experiences from more than one person.
It happens, and it's. I'm not saying that all SA happens because a woman put themselves in a bad situation. I'm just using that as an example because it happens. You know,
Yeah.
the date R word is a thing. That means you went on a date first.
Yeah. Yeah. That's even like with again, justice for Sade. For anyone that doesn't know about the young lady, the 19-year-old that was just brutally, gruesomely murdered. I'll pull it up so we can look at that too, because this goes to the point of what you were just saying about people putting themselves in specific situations. So again, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say, or is Rumbling trying to say that SA is okay or victim blaming like it's the woman's fault. But to some degree, human beings have to gain sensory awareness, be able to observe our surroundings and say that isn't a place I should go. Here's why. ... That's not always going to be the case. That's not always going to be the thing. But again, if you put yourself in certain specific scenarios, then certain specific things might have a higher likelihood of occurring statistically.
Yeah, no, yeah. To clarify, I'm definitely not saying that is justified. But what I am saying is that this notion that men are for utility only is attached to us being the savior or rectifying the situation after it already done happened.
Yeah.
And that's impossible. That's an impossible position to be put in. And a lot of times that's what causes these trauma bond type situations is everybody's trying to make sense of what happened in a way that you can move forward.
Right.
But the damage is done. And if you're aligning me with that damage, only thing that's going to happen is more damage to me, because I'm not that person.
Right.
So that's where we have to be cognizant of our own mental health in regards to female nature and understand that they do see us as utilities. They do see us as to be in service of.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like I went to the military. You know, I'm all about protection.
Right.
That's okay. It's just it can't be taken for granted.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now. Like men are being taken for granted because the creature comforts that exist in modern society allow women to be able to stay in a domicile by themselves. It allows them to walk the street at night by themselves to some degree.
Yeah. You know about the Maxwell Anderson dude who murdered Sade?
I heard about the story. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump into this one real quick because this one is a wild one, and it goes to the point of when we say are men needed. Yeah, men are needed to be defenders and protectors and providers and the base of infrastructure. Men are needed the same way women are needed to be the receivers of ideas and that calming force and literally our partners in real time. We need each other. I think that's one of the biggest issues is that whoever's pushing that ideology that we don't need each other is doing a damn good job to make sure we limit our strength in numbers because we don't have numbers. But we're gonna get into this one. This is the story of Sade. This is Maxwell Anderson, who took her life at 19 years old.
Bartender now at the center of an investigation into a severed leg. 12 News Investigates is learning more about Maxwell Anderson, including what law enforcement sources tell us they found in his basement.
Anderson has not been charged. At the same time, 19-year-old Sade Robinson has been missing for 10 days.
Police say she was last seen April 1st with her burnt car later found near 30th and Lisbon.
This past weekend, investigators discovered human remains near 31st and Galena over 3 consecutive days.
Now, this is the second place a body part was found in Milwaukee County in a week. That severed leg was found in Warnemont Park in Cudahy on April 2nd.
12 News' Hannah Hilliard is live outside Anderson's home near 39th and Oklahoma. And Hannah, you've been looking into his past all day long.
Yeah, Joyce and Patrick, and we have uncovered a lot, including Anderson's ties to Waukesha County and what sources are telling us investigators found inside this home exactly 1 week ago. This is the man behind bars, but not yet charged.
In the interest of Maxwell Steven Anderson,
Appearing in court in connection to a case that's
I just want to throw out there before we go any further. He looks crazy as shit.
Yeah, dude.
Like, so, and this is that whole, before we go any further, situational awareness. In no way, I made a post about it, so in no way, shape, or form am I blaming Sade. Justice for Sade. Nothing but peace, light, love, healing, energy, and protection to her family. But this motherfucker looked like Jeffrey Dahmer 2.0. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Fuck that. If I see a bipedal creature in the corner of a room with blood on his face and hands chewing on something, I don't need to figure out no more. I'm the fuck out of there. Now, not to say that that's what she saw when she looked at him, but damn, that's what I see when I look at him. Maybe I'm biased.
Well, but that's
being biased.
You know, that goes to the point too where men being protectors of women is not always when the thing happens. It's preventative too.
Yes.
Hey, you know, bro, check this dude out. Do he seem legit?
Right.
And then you gonna look at him and be like, hell no.
Hell fuck no. Hell fuck no. Unless you go nowhere with this nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Let's finish learning about this psychopath. Oh, Jesus.
captivated Milwaukee. Who is Maxwell Anderson? We know he's a Southside resident whose house at 39th in Oklahoma was searched by investigators 2 days after someone found a severed leg on the Lake Michigan shore in Cudahy. 12 News has confirmed the 33-year-old man has ties to Waukesha County, attending Kettle Moraine, Catholic Memorial, and Pewaukee High Schools in the early 2000s. Anderson has a criminal record, a 2014 misdemeanor disorderly conduct conviction in Waukesha County after an incident with a family member in Delafield, and in 2015, a misdemeanor domestic violence case out of Door County. For the last few years, he's worked at several Milwaukee bars.
He works full-time,
including The Rave from 2018 to 2020, most recently working at Victor's nightclub on the east side. A woman who claims she met Anderson there spoke to 12 News by phone, but asked not to be identified out of fear for her safety. She says he once invited her to his Southside home.
I remember there being something about a hole in the yard, and this was back in fall. I remember asking about it, and he was like, oh, I'm building a garden.
In a view from News Chopper 12,
all right, that looks like a hole there, actually.
a gaping hole next to Anderson's house was visible earlier this week. Inside the home,
And when I got in, it just kind of seemed like he was in the middle of a whole bunch of renovations, but kind of seemed like the kind of guy that never would finish them.
Thursday, 12 News learned from multiple law enforcement sources Anderson had what is described as a sex dungeon in his basement.
So I got a little bit of a tour, and he was like, do you want to see the basement? And I was like, no, I'm okay. He's like, it's creepy down there. And I was like, no, that's okay.
Hold the fuck up.
The fuck kind of nigga is this, bro?
Fuck up. They said somebody had a conversation with the motherfucker. He said, you want to see the basement? He said, no. And this motherfucker's response was, it's creepy down there?
Bro, this nigga is on a whole nother level, bro.
At a certain point, man, it's like I'll be at a loss for words. Let's see what the fuck else they gotta say, because there's only a minute left. That's wild.
Now, Hannah, Anderson hasn't been charged, but is still being held after almost a week in jail.
Right, Joy. So the court did give prosecutors an additional 72 hours to either charge Anderson or release him. Those 72 hours run out tomorrow morning. We will, of course, be sure to stay on top of any developments and bring them to you as they happen on air and online.
Hannah Hilliard live in Milwaukee. And as we have been reporting, that 72-hour hold on Maxwell Anderson expires tomorrow. We asked legal expert Craig Mastantuono about what could happen next.
if he's released, that doesn't stop prosecutors and police from continuing to gather evidence. and potentially charge Mr. Anderson at a later date. In other words, tomorrow's not a dismissal or move forward date. It's a move forward with a complaint or release the suspect.
A complaint? Somebody dead, bro.
At a certain point, it's just like, what are we talking about right now?
Bro, I did not expect that to, and I didn't know that about the story. I didn't know that this motherfucker was due to be released. I thought like, yeah, he did it. And they got him. Like, that's what I thought. I didn't know it was this situation. That's just fucking bananas.
What they didn't say, and I have to go confirm it, but I think I had read that his family has ties to politics potentially. So you already know how convoluted all of this shit will get if that turns out to be the case. Specifically and especially if that family ties are high up enough and the money is long enough. I don't know for sure. I gotta do some more research into it since this is still a new story. But yeah, like, community is so important. Having relationships and ties to the right people. And what is the right people? Well, each of us as individuals have to use a level of discernment in figuring what that is for each of us as individuals. Because again, couldn't none of the women that I call sister in my life be like, yo, bro, just do me a favor. I'm gonna be at this restaurant. Just if you free, be there. I'll schedule it on your free time. Like, let's make this shit. Cause I, for whatever reason, am feeling this dude for whatever fucking reason. Cause just looking at him, whatever the fuck the reason could have been, I'm not gonna sit here and presume and assume nothing. But she's 19 years old and she worked in criminal justice. And this is where it gets wild. She worked in criminal justice. That's what her education and everything was on. So did he notice? Was this something that he did as like a crime of passion? Because when you dismember a person, that's a level of anger. Like, if you just read reports on the psychology of criminals and adverse psychology and psychopaths in general, the people that do this type of shit, this extreme level of violence, it's coming from somewhere.
Right.
So again, that is in no way, shape, or form me saying he's right in what he did or excusing what he's a fucking animal of the highest degree. Please let there be no confusion. I have no remorse and or pity for him, and I pray he gets death slowly, truly, because shit, at least maybe then the family can have some sense of like vengeance was served and justice was served. Because yes, sometimes they go hand in fucking hand. I don't believe in that turn the other cheek shit. That's the dumb shit they was trying to tell us so that they would keep beating our ass without us fighting back. Stop falling for the okie doke. But that different conversation. But again, if I had a sister, she was like, just investigate, dude. Just be in the vicinity and see where we go after. And if I hit you with the all's good text, that's cool. But if I don't, please, bro, just do what you do. And yeah, in real time, I'm there like fucking Batman. Like fucking Batman stalking the car. He's not gonna know, because again, if we don't take care of our own, who's taking care of us? Who are these imaginary saviors that we think exist if we not being that in real time for ourselves and each other?
Nah, that's facts, bro. You know, I was walking yesterday. I was going just to put up some shots, break a sweat. And I walked past this lady and she like looked at me and I looked her way. But, you know, it was like one of them instances where it wasn't like prolonged eye exchange where you speak to someone who's just like, oh, it's a person, right? So I kept on walking and I got about 15 feet and she's like, excuse me, sir, excuse me. So I turn around and I'm like, you know, I go back, I'm like, what's up? And she was like, can you help me out? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, what do you need? And she owned a coffee shop and she couldn't get the shutter door up because it was stuck in the middle and she wasn't tall enough to push it. So I opened the door up for her and went on about my way. She said, thank you. And you know, it's like right now, women's radar is off. Like a woman knows the right type of guy to ask for help, but for whatever reason, that's not the type of dude that they want to date. They want to date the dude who's got the edge, who is capable of dismemberment. That's the edge that you're feeling from him.
Mm.
That's that thug danger. Like that's, and I, you know, saying this is not me saying. There's plenty of videos where women are articulating this.
Yes.
And you know, and to some extent, you know, I understand some of it, like on a primal level, but on a logical level, it's then got too extreme. Because it's like, now this is the status quo. Like, if you're not dangerous, I'm not fucking with you.
Well, see, to a degree, don't you need to be dangerous?
But that's where the contradiction is, because then you're toxic.
Toxic to who?
What toxic when you're not when you're not controllable.
True.
Because that's really where shit goes wrong, is when women lose control of the situation. Then they just go into destruction mode. If they can. Or they lose control of the situation to someone who has control, and they exploit the situation. And that's how they become victims.
True. There's a clip I want to play. It's Jordan Peterson speaking to this, basically talking about how a harmless man is not a good man. A lot of people have already seen it. Some people haven't. But I feel like this will shed a little bit more light on what we're speaking about and give a different position, because sad to say, in today's society, depending on your hue, depending on your status, depending on your accolades, we could all be saying the same thing, but you'll hear it coming from someone else before you'll hear it coming from us. So just for just for shits and giggles, because again, I can say I've studied psychology for years, but because I don't have the PhDs, it's irrelevant what I've studied. You know, I could say that I've lived with psychopaths, being in a maximum security fucking penitentiary, and got the chance to do case studies firsthand with these motherfuckers, killers and all. But that's fucking irrelevant because I didn't go get the PhDs yet. So let's listen to someone that does have the PhD, someone that does have the on paper education, who shares in the same philosophy, ideology, and belief that, and I've known this since I was young. I didn't need to hear it from Jordan Peterson in the late 10s and 20s to know that a harmless man is not a good man, because I fucking was raised around psychopaths and killers, so I fucking know. Right. Let's get into it. Here we go. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, that's spot on, bro. You know, that's the truth and the awareness that I think most men walk around with, is that at any given day, somebody could bring a fight to you and you could lose your life.
Yeah.
You know, when we walk on the street and we cross each other's paths, you know, there's a quick scan.
Yeah.
Can I take this person?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be too
average male thinking in real time.
It just is what it is, you know. And you know what I'm saying? So just if you magnify that times 1,000 people that you cross in a day, like that creates a disposition.
Yeah, it does.
And and that's where the imagination lies. Is because you're not fighting everybody obviously that you're crossing paths with, and equally, everyone is not on that same wavelength just because you are.
Right.
But that's where what he's talking about is, just because you aren't doesn't mean that somebody else is.
Right.
So that's what you have to be aware of, is that someone else may have a propensity towards violence that if you have never taken yourself there, you are going to be a victim. If you haven't imagined yourself in that type of scenario, win, lose, or draw, you absolutely are going to be a victim. You don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And I learned that early. Or I didn't say early, in high school. I got in a fight and this dude bit me on the chest, bro. I was getting the best of him and he bit me on the chest. And I remember thinking to myself, like, he can't do that.
He can't do that. It's against the rules.
It's against the fucking rules.
Oh, shit. For sure.
I learned that day.
Yeah.
I learned that. I ain't never had no thought like that since.
Yeah.
Motherfucker would do anything, bro, when it comes down to survival. And it just goes back to when you're talking about that dismemberment. You never know what a person really is fueled by.
Yes. What level of anger, what level of hatred, pain, psychological disorder. Shit is wild.
Like, it's real, bro. I made a reel the other day, but I ain't posted it. The lighting and shit it was off. But I was walking and I crossed paths with this dude and I just thought to record it. And I was like, you ever walk past someone and like their whole presentation just screams, murderer?
Yes. Fuck yeah. My God. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's just a real thing, bro. There's just people out here. And, you know, it just goes back to what I was saying, is that times have changed to where that's attractive to women now.
Yeah.
But that's where, you know, to me, that's where, if there is a shift that can happen, that's how it has to be. It has to be women being comfortable with speaking to men as if they wanted to help from that man. Like if you,
I saw a post that, not to cut you off, that really had me thinking. I forgot who it was or where I even saw it, but they basically said, it was a woman actually. She said, you should speak to men the way you speak to the man that employs you. Speak to your man the way you speak to the man that employs you at your job.
Why not?
And that one threw me for a doozy, because I've even had that verbal conversation with previous partners years ago. 4 years, multiple years in a row, saying, I don't understand how you giving this energy here at a job, you know, as if the job's the end all and be all, but I'm not even getting 5% of what I feel I should be getting in real time. As someone that was doing the, because again, for anyone that don't know me, I'm not a slouch. I'm the cook, I'm the cleaner, I'm the one educating when I'm with my children. I'm up and at them like Adam Ant. I don't sleep at night. Kids have nightmares. I'm the one that's up. Kids getting sick in the middle of the night. I'm the one that's up type shit. So, you know, to be that type of a man, because that's the type of man I am and have been for many, many years of my life. Shit is the entirety of it from what I can remember. I don't remember a point where I wasn't like that. But to know that I've yet to encounter in real time, at least if I did encounter them, it was during my youth and my ignorant stages and phases when I wasn't able to see, you know, the quote unquote right person, because in that moment I wasn't the right person. But when it came to having these relationships and, you know, the commitment aspect and the carrying your weight aspect, I've yet to meet, and this has become a norm that I've noticed, that a lot of women don't feel like there's any weight for them to carry.
That's that entitlement. That Cinderella Disney fairy tale shit.
Yeah.
But no, that's factual, bro. Like that's, you know, that's pretty much what I'm alluding to. Respect should be the default. And if you can respect a motherfucker at work, or you can respect a man enough to ask for his help, then that should be the default.
Yeah.
why would you operate any other type of way?
Yeah.
And is that the answer is because a society has told you can get away with it.
True.
That's where things are coming to a head, as I see it, because it's not sustainable. Because it's not based in reality, bro. It's not. It's contradictory to what everybody wants.
Yeah.
And like that's the first show that we watched. You know, that's just an effort to keep the train going towards the cliff. But you know, we can stop this shit. We can even turn it around. We ain't gotta follow them demons. Just because Steve fucked up in the game,
right?
Like, no, we like that. We don't have to agree to that, bro. We don't have to agree to a life of misery and a life of servitude that's not. It doesn't look like peace.
Right.
Who is anyone to demand that on an individual? Like you, it is your duty to be miserable and in service. Says who? Because that's another thing that people really ain't gonna talk about or touch on. But I am. The one reason why there's so many fucking single moms is because they push the fucking fathers out the house. Gave them no choice. Like that's what's really going on right now. Like there's an active movement to where women are getting into relationships with the anticipation of being a single mom. It's a grift.
Right. That's scary though. Because it's true. And it's scary because it's true. Did you see the video about the women and the bears? Because we're gonna continue this because it kind of falls into what she was just saying. I'm about to play this crazy shit right now. This one's a wild one because again, it just goes to where we're at as people and what's being perpetuated onto all of us.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Yeah, men are scary.
With a bear.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear.
I agree with these women. If it were me and I was in the woods, I would prefer to see a bear than a man. It's not a bear that's roofying women. It's not a bear that is involved in sex trafficking. It's not a bear that women have to fear whenever they divorce that man or break up with that man. It's not a bear. It's a man. I genuinely feel like it should be disheartening for men to realize that so many women would rather take their chances with an animal than one of them. Not all men are dangerous. Not all men need to be feared, but there are so many of you that turn a blind eye to your friend, your frat brother, your cousin, your brother, neighbor. So many men that you know are dangerous and that women should fear, but you say nothing about it. Truthfully, if men were honest and they were alone in the woods, even they would take their chances with a bear than another man.
I saw this in
Hold the fuck on. Oh, black baby Jesus. We are in the end of society and civilization. We have fallen by the wayside, my friends, and it is a dark, dark day with no dawn in sight. Let me just make it clear that humans have failed each other as a fucking whole, specifically and especially in Western society, which we live in. It is fucked. We're fucked. And let's be clear. Women turn a blind eye to women that roofie men because, as Cardi B put it, and as someone that has frequented Bronx strip clubs, worked in Brooklyn, worked in Queens, worked in some of the wildest fucking places in New York City, let me tell y'all something. There are groups of women that move around like fucking piranhas. So if y'all gonna sit here and believe in real time that the evil that men do, quote unquote, is only relegated to men, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but do some fucking research. Not the me search. Do the fucking research. And I stole the me search thing from one of the homies from TikTok. I forgot his name, but he's prevalent over there. He made that little quote popular, do research, not me search. And I love that one, but I can't remember his name. I just want to give him that credit for it, though. If we don't take accountability for ourselves as a human race, and we stop playing these weird ass games that are being perpetuated by viral content, because I promise you, if for whatever reason the algorithm switched because they changed a 1 or a 0 for the coding to switch, and all of a sudden the most viral videos were women, you need to be support system to the good men, and good men, you need to be blah blah blah. Guess what everybody would start posting? All of that shit. Because 99.9% of these people saying this dumb shit is just copying the last viral post that they saw. They going along with some weirdo dumb shit that they saw on TikTok and or Instagram. They not actually thinking autonomously, and they not even thinking in the realm of logic. Yes, of course, if we're talking about things like trafficking and SA and kidnapping, no, a fucking bear's not doing that. You know what a bear's doing? It's mauling you to death and ripping off your jaw with one of its fucking claws, one of its giant paws, fucking in your head. It's taking you, and I don't know if y'all seen this, but there's actual footage of a man who had his jaw cleaved off by a fucking bear. So no, if you ask most men who are going to be rational and logical, I don't want to fucking be in the woods with a bear. I'd rather take my chance with a fucking man. Because guess what, ladies? If you hit a man in the head with a rock, you're probably going to get the fuck away from him.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
And that nigga's going to be sitting there doing this on the floor.
Right.
But if you hit that bear in the head, that nigga's going to go, and you're going to go night-night. And it's going to eat your face and throat and soft meat.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. You hit a man with a rock, he going down. You hit a bear with a rock, that motherfucker mad.
Superman, you hit me in the temple with a rock. It don't even gotta be a pointy rock. You just hit me in the head with a fucking rock. I might seize out, nigga. What are you talking about?
I did want to say, I can align with what you were saying. You know, my whole perspective on women was forever changed when I worked in a nightclub. I worked at one of the biggest nightclubs in the United States in DC. And the shit that I seen there, like, you can't tell me that women don't have a predatory nature. Outside of that, what that chick was saying is cap, because dudes with a moral code and a moral compass don't hang around fucking scumbags.
Exactly.
There's no one to hold accountable because those motherfuckers don't come around us.
Exactly.
They know better.
Exactly.
Because we will hold them accountable.
and beat that motherfucking ass.
Like they're not gonna try that shit around somebody that they know is legit.
I had a clip that went viral for the same shit, talking about that same shit. I don't care what these niggas is doing when I'm not around, because I can't control that. But none of these niggas is doing weirdo shit in my presence around me. I've never been in a room and niggas start doing weirdo shit. Maybe if I was a little kid and I didn't have the ability or capability, but as a man, since my manhood, even in my teenage years, I beat a nigga with a golf club. I have a fucking vivid memory of getting into it and grabbing a golf club at a house party and molly-whopping the dog shit out this nigga multiple times. Because I don't like weird shit. And I feel, and if you make me feel cringy and you a man, then no, I don't got, like Jordan Peterson said, nigga, it's up, I'm dangerous. I don't care. You could be the best fighter in the world. Now I'm a bust your ass with a baseball bat. And I ain't with soft swings, and I'm not going to be hesitant. Nigga, I'm sliding and going for your fucking knees like it's an anime. You better fucking backflip, jump, and hope you got the best responses in the fucking, you better been trained since your childhood. Because, nigga, I'm coming in for the kill. But that's just me personally. Listen, the video I posted on Instagram, let me see if I can find that one to pull up. Because this one right here, facts, I'll never choose a bear over a male. They don't know how to defend themselves. Double life, please do. Listen, this is in Instagram. Ladies, I'm a firm believer that every woman should not only carry mace and or pepper spray, and if you could get a lethal weapon in your state, get a fucking license, carry a lethal weapon. And if you don't want a lethal weapon, carry a non-lethal weapon and take a fucking defense course. Learn jujitsu. Learn how to shift your weight. I have taught women defense. I'm not saying every woman gotta be a fighter, but if women actually believe that there's that many threats out there, then why would you not want to go learn how to defend yourself? If in today's modern society you could see women that do MMA, it's not like this is some unthinkable shit nowadays. It's not unthinkable what I'm saying.
That's facts. I got a homegirl. She got a book. Her name is Tonda Lindsay. And her book is called F Fear. And she used to be a police officer in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's, she's talking about in the same lane, like why be defenseless if you don't have to be?
Right. It's not that era. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. So if you feel defenseless, change that. But here's the video I posted on Instagram, and I'm showing this right now because I had a dude in the comments basically say, fellas, stay woke. She should have did. This is the shit that threw me. This nigga said she should have did something. Now, after I show you the video, if you haven't seen it, you're gonna understand. I think you already commented on it. When when the dude touched Shorty's face on the escalator and shit. So somebody came at me in the comments and literally was like, why didn't she do something? I said, nigga, what? Why? If she's in the presence of her man, the man she chose to put her life in this man's hands, because every time a woman go out with a man, if you the man I'm with, and that's how that shit go, she's trusting you. That's the psychology of it. If you the man I'm with and I'm your girl, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you to keep me safe. I'm trusting you to do the right thing by me. I'm trusting you that if danger come, yeah, you gonna be the one that's, if you love me, because that's how we fucking hardwired. But now when I realize that's not how we hardwired no more, because the wiring have been fucked up for years. The wiring is gone bad.
The milk's gone bad.
The milk's gone bad. God damn, here we go. Let's get into it for anybody that hasn't seen this shit yet.
What you mean? It's a video. It's a video.
You're about to get knocked out.
You good? You good, bro? I ain't want to touch your girls. The video. We good. You good? We good. Damn, bro. Damn, this nigga tripping. Damn, bro, you didn't have to grab me that hard, bro.
Yeah, fuck, bro. That dude need to shut the fuck up and walk away, bro. Shut the fuck up and get up out of there, bro.
Woo!
Like, take your pass and get the fuck on. Rapido. Take your pass and get the fuck on. Talk about you trip, bruh.
Listen, at a certain point, and this is, and I didn't have to play what I said because I could say it in real time. I enjoyed that video truly because Shorty wasn't going for what he did. She just had so much unconscious faith in her man. She knew he was a crash out when it came to that shit, obviously, because she did not need to flinch. It's like that meme where it says, a queen will always be safe if she knows the king stands behind her. And you see a picture of like a small framed girl and a giant beast of a man standing behind. That's real fucking life. He didn't have to be the biggest nigga on the planet. He got the dog in him for real. So when somebody plays with what's his, and yeah, I'm using that phraseology and terminology, what's his, because he claimed her. She gave herself willingly. She claimed him. He gave himself willingly. They each others. So she knew in the back of her mind, boy, done fucked up. She didn't even have to look. It's so real. When he got pulled, I don't even think she turned around because she already the time this nigga's on. She don't gotta look.
Yeah, like are you like she just like glanced at her shoulder a little bit.
I be telling my chicks, yo, if you see me getting into something, don't see it. Get the fuck go. Because the way this shit gonna go, I don't want you to be in a position where you get questioned and you're not gonna have no answers. You don't know what the fuck happened. You're not supposed to. You don't need to. Keep going. I'll see you at the car. Keep going. Start the car if anything.
That part.
You see me jogging, put that bitch in drive. You know what time.
Hit it.
That's it. Like, but all of that comes from, again, being a specific type of man. Some men are bred to be that way. Some men are born with that. And then some men got to go through enough situation that shit just awakens inside of them. And some men never do. They never, it's like the nigga in the comments talking about how many men done died behind it. You right. Let's not pretend like that ain't happened. But so you telling me in real time, the better scenario would have been, let me just sit here like a bitch and let you fondle my shorty's face.
Right.
You could have literally just, son could have literally just skeeted off in his hand, and he's just sitting here like, yeah, baby. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What if he had a blade in his hand, and the second time he was gonna go up to try to cut her face because he a bug out? Yeah, I might rather get cut than my girl get cut type shit. That's the choice I'm gonna make as a man. That I'd rather deal with the violence, because why the fuck should she have to in front of me? What kind of shit is we talking about? But that's the level of pussy we got going around the world. And when I say pussy, I'm talking about these pussy ass, hoe ass niggas. Because they'll literally try to make the case about why you shouldn't defend your girl. He said why she didn't do nothing. What was she supposed to do, nigga? Was she supposed to try to pull him over the shit and be like, what's up now, nigga? What are you talking about?
They were supposed to jump him.
Yeah, they gonna jump them together. Listen, man. Listen, man. This shit crazy. This shit crazy.
Nah, I seen that comment. That shit was dumb.
Bruh, that's what I'm saying. That don't make no sense to me. And again, I'm not saying that men should be crash out dummies. That's not what I'm saying. But if a man doesn't recognize his genetic purpose, then we have lost ourselves as a fucking race of humans. And the shit that they've been doing with the food and the chemicals and the fucking media has truly worked, and we are fucked as a collective because there's less and less of us that even harbor the ideal that I would rather die on my principles than fucking live in cowardice.
That's the thing?
I don't even know anymore. At this point, I feel like it's a fucking anime. And it's just like, you know, that inner monologue going on. It's like, and I've awoken in this strange world. I don't even know where I am. I think I'm the last warrior left on the planet. Like, what the fuck is going on?
You talking about principal in the school, right?
There's gotta be. That's gotta be it. Shit is wild, bruh. And I just seen somebody else make a post about a woman that was getting robbed by gunpoint, and she fought the man off, took the clip out the gun, and supposedly there was a bunch of men around, and some men recorded, all of them watched, but no one got involved. You know how much that hurt my heart to hear that story?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because here's where it gets real wicked. Even if them niggas was thinking, oh, I gotta protect my life, you lying, nigga, because you stayed there.
Yeah, with a phone nonetheless.
So you wasn't even worried about your own life, you sick motherfucker. You was just worried about content, and the other niggas was just worried to see, well, let me see where this is gonna go, because this looks crazy. But now one of them niggas said, yo, let me help Shorty, because maybe he about to go on a killing spree. I mean, fuck, even if you wasn't saying, let me help Shorty, maybe he about to go on a killing spree and kill every single one of us that's in the vicinity. Because obviously this nigga's a dumb out if he got a gun out in broad daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, now that phone, that's the recording that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, that's wild.
Catherine Christine 9050 on Instagram said, I appreciate that when I know I could just look the other way because it's already handled. Type shit. Type shit. That's what it's supposed to be. Oh, right. That's what it's supposed to be. What the fuck?
Yeah, now that escalator shit was egregious. Like I don't see how there's a man on planet Earth that wouldn't have responded in some type of physical way, even if it was just smacking dude's hand. Like that shit was crazy. And the fact that this is what is being pawned off as comedy, just blatantly disrespecting people's boundaries. That's a whole nother subject right there. So, and this was definitely a very interesting group of videos,
bruh,
to look at.
Bruh. And that's why, like, the question is, are men needed? Yes, because I was talking to a lovely young lady, beautiful soul. I'm very happy to have her in my sphere of existence to converse with and be able to, go back and forth with. And she says something that's very, very true and very poignant that I just want to make sure I get out there before we end this. There is a difference between men and niggas. And for us as people who want to call ourselves black, which we are not, but for all intents and purposes, for those who are still not at that point of wanting to recognize, that's the last I'm going to say that. But as children of Moors, as children of Kemet, as I often tag on my channel, as the children of the lost tribes, choosing to be a nigga and disassociating from what it means to truly be a man has been one of the lowest points in our fucking current existence. And even as a rapper who uses nigga in blah, 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 you'll see even in my written lyrics, I started changing it, actually saying niggas. Even if I say that shit in a way that you don't get it at first, I'll write it out so you get the gist. It's Negus, because we all born of kings. But that doesn't mean that we all gonna ascend to the throne. So for those of us that recognize our potency, our power, our relevance as men that choose to be men, that might have been born of niggerdom and nigger moments and niggerish attitudes, and that does not mean that's our prison for life unless we choose to stay in it. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I can say no nigga, because I can't. But I can at least reach other men, and we can have these discourses and start bringing more men to the table. And as we reach out to more men in different scenarios who might want to transform from a nigga to a man, we can see some change, because it's a top-down movement. It's not from the bottom up. And we got to stop pretending like it is.
Nah, that's facts, bro. We collectively, we are nowhere as weak as they project us to be. We just misguided.
That part.
And that's where, I was saying earlier about, it's not about repairing broken men, but just building the guys that haven't had a chance or an opportunity to become men.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more of those type of men than there are the perpetuators of violence and toxicity. There are more men who have not been taught how to be men.
Yes. Yes.
That then exist of the terrible version.
Sad and true. Sad and true.
But that's where, honestly, that's part of that, having your cake and eating it too, where, most women aren't going to admit to, but they take advantage of these dudes. These dudes that they can put in the friend zone and use as forever servants. Like I've had that's right. That's where, that's where the shit gets sticky, is when you're on the internet, the amount of rhetoric that is allowed to just permeate without being checked is fucking crazy. But when you come across somebody that actually has experience with the opposite sex, you throw all that shit out the window, bro. Like, that, get the fuck out of here with that. Anybody falling for that kindergarten shit?
That's real.
Like women talk to me. And not on some trying to extract information. Like, they're telling me shit. Shit that they're not going to tell you. Because they don't want to be seen in a certain way because it's going to ruin their grift.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the whole thing right now. Women taking advantage of weak men and putting them in the friend zone, and you know, why would they need a man if they got 10 others just on standby?
Well, that's when we could see how and why people like Andrew Tate became so popular.
Yes.
Because he's talking to a group of disenfranchised young men who don't feel like they have a place in society, who don't feel like they are valued, who may have dealt with, because they're not the 1%, 2%, or even 10% of men. They're not the athletes. They're not the good-looking conventional guys, et cetera, They end up getting called incels, as if that's an actual diss when you think about it. If I'm involuntarily celibate, the fuck? I mean, I don't want to be celibate. It's involuntary, motherfucker. I don't want to be celibate. I want to get my shit wet, but I can't fucking get none. Now, I'm not saying that that's my issue.
Right.
I'm voluntarily celibate. I'm a no-nut ninja warrior. I'm fucking focused. But for the men, the young men who are coming up in today's society, who see people like the Joy Behar, where the fuck her name was on The View, talking about some, we don't need men. If you're a young boy transitioning into young manhood, and you catch wind of this shit, and then you see viral content online with women saying, I'd rather be in a fucking forest with a bear that could maul me to death than be in the woods with one of y'all. It's fucking psychological torture. So if we're looking at the yin and the yang of it all, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the body, so the soul, this is the 12th law of the universe, the law of gender. This is the law of gender, and it's being violated. We need women, and women need us. This is not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. But again, in Western society, we've seen the collapse of that idea and ideal as a whole. And I do believe, or know at this point, that it's by design. Because all we need to do is look at our counterparts globally around the world. Have you seen what goes on in Chinese schools?
That's complete order.
Have you seen how efficient and proficient they kindergarteners are? Hold up. This is going to be the last video we play tonight, because this one, if you haven't seen it, is fucking mind-boggling. This shit had me damn near in tears. I was like, I don't even know if I want to be. I might need to learn Chinese and get the fuck up out of here at this point. That's how you know shit is bad. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. Here it is. Here it is, the video that blew my fucking mind. But why should it blow my mind? Why should it blow my mind? When I literally know that they found our weak point 30 plus years ago and have been slowly just stabbing away and pulling the threads apart since then. If anyone that don't believe, go look at 1940s and 50s videos of what gyms were like around the country and what our fitness program was like, and then take a look at what the fuck it is now. But let's look at what China's doing right now. I don't even need to watch anymore. We should just fucking be ashamed of ourselves. And we wonder what the fuck we doing wrong. What do you mean? Imagine seeing this in an American school. You got kids talking about why does that basketball look better than my basketball? Why the fuck yeah? My mom said I don't have to listen to you. You're not my mom. You're not my dad. You know how fucking retarded that video would look if we tried that in America? For shits and giggles, I want to fucking see if I could get a school to let me try this shit, just so we can see how bad it is. We can do a side-by-side comparison, because I promise you, the same way we doing this right now, there's somebody in China, my counterpart right now, watching a video, saying, look how stupid the fucking Americans are. And yeah, I might have sounded like I was being racist and making fun of it, but I'm not, because I'm bigging China up. They fucking got it figured out. We are fucking morons. Collectively, because I'm not dumb, but collectively, because I'm unfortunately part of this collective. I'm doing my damnedest to try to shift the tides, but shit. Look at the kindergartners, G.
That's all that is, home training, bro.
Home training, which then goes into a school system that reinforces the home training.
Yep.
And as much as people might try to say, "Oh, fuck that, they're communists," and maybe we should be.
Yeah, how's this capitalism working out for you?
What the fuck? I pledge allegiance to the United States of corporations.
That part.
Madness.
The jump rope shit was the craziest. Bro, you know how locked in and focused you gotta be?
Locked in. Lock the fuck in.
Because one person can fuck that up.
Yes. All it takes is one. Domino effect.
That was crazy, bro. I mean, both of them was impressive, but that jump rope shit, like, that's everybody on the same fucking page at the same time, at the same intensity.
Yeah.
And that's really shit. You go on Instagram and that's all you're gonna hear, all these talking heads talking about what we need to do.
Right.
But they got kids doing it right now. But we can't even get past semantics.
Nope. I don't like the way you said it. Ooh, you talking that the way I like it. Done, bro. That's why I said it earlier. I believe it's like that moment where the Titanic's about to hit the fucking iceberg, and then all of a sudden somebody talking about turn the ship. It's too late, bitch.
Yeah, we there, bro.
We made contact. Motherfuckers don't even realize we already hit the iceberg.
Yeah,
the ship is going down.
we leaking.
We're leaking.
It is
At
bad.
this point, I'm just looking for a fucking life raft to get on. Who got a life raft? I'm jumping on that bitch, and you not about to jack me. No, motherfucker, I'm not hanging off the side of the boat. I'm in that bitch. I'm strong. Let me paddle.
And bro, I told you, like, that shit is playing out too, man. Like, with that eclipse shit, like, motherfuckers is reassessing everything now. Because everything that they prophesized what was going to happen, all of these spiritual gurus, motherfuckers is having to reassess themselves.
Yeah.
Damn, if I got it this wrong, what do I actually know? Nothing. Like everybody else.
Not a damn thing.
Like everybody else. So you might as well come on down here with the rest of us and try to figure this shit out. Get your head out the clouds.
That part.
because like them spiritually aligned to a fault motherfuckers is really the ones who is coming unraveling right now, and it's like they're fulfilling their design because of how they've situated themselves. They're in a chaotic state.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's the only alternative now, because they don't have anything to tether to anymore. Their belief system has been invalidated.
Yeah.
In some ways, and they're lashing out, honestly. And that's that's a point of contention within our culture is we don't take each other at face value. And it's like you were saying before, if a celebrity say it or one of them other people say it,
right,
then yeah, I can give some credence to it. But who the fuck is you, Ninja?
Hey, who the fuck is this nigga up here on the screen thinking he knows some shit?
Who this ninja think he is? And that's my response is always, who do you think I'm not?
Right. Who the fuck is it you think I'm not, motherfucker?
I know I stare eye to eye with any man on the planet. I don't care what their shade is. And we can trade experiences and insights for days.
For days. You ain't lying. You not lying. Shit is wild, bro. We about to hit the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna close this one out. It's the first episode. Rise of the Lost. We all back at it like a motherfucking crack habit. Make sure you have liked, subscribe on all the different platforms. If I don't have you on YouTube, tap in with me on YouTube. For whoever was watching on Twitch, my one solo fucking rock star, whoever you are who've been with me this entire time, I love your fucking soul.
Hey.
Everybody watching on Instagram, I appreciate y'all. Rumbling, you got any closing words on are men needed in today's society? And for my YouTube, I just pulled up the YouTube chat. We got Uriel Elements, Ra, and Sunkiss in the motherfucking building. So for my two viewers on YouTube, I appreciate y'all. Love your fucking soul. We here doing the work so the work get done. Some do it for play. We do it for fun. Are men needed in today's society? Closing thoughts.
Yep. Full stop.
Simple. I like that. We already did all the talking. And I concur. I ain't got to elaborate. I've already said everything that needed to be said. This will be up for whoever wants to view it again in case you came in late and you want to catch it in its entirety, see what that whole view, the little clip from the view, where it all started. And that's a recent video. That's from 2 weeks ago. Just so we understand, like this just happened. This is fresh. This is fresh in our ecosphere of content. So it's still making its rounds. There's probably going to be a bunch more people to share the video, add their context to it, and a bunch of women who will echo the sentiment that men are not needed. So again, full stop. Yes, of course, men are needed. And as was said earlier, we need each other. The gender war is the most bullshit propaganda they've come up with in a long time, but Lord knows to a degree it is successful and it is working and it is fucking us up. I'll never perpetuate it. I'm never going to act as if that's something we need to be adhering to or playing into. I will consistently, while I have breath in my lungs, remind us all that we are our own saviors. No one's coming for us. So ladies, if they invade the village, it'll be us on the front lines dying for y'all. So please, for the few of us that are good and the even fewer that are great men, stop lumping us together with the pieces of shit. Because we are going, at least for me and Rumbling, we are going out of our way to not lump our queens and our goddesses in with all the piece of shit Jezebel derelict women out there that are doing the devil's work. Let's be clear. It's a two-way street. And we got to meet in the middle. And once we will, hopefully we'll rise. Hopefully we'll rise. I appreciate y'all, Rumbling. I appreciate you. Make sure
Thanks
y'all
for having me, bro.
Rumbling Thunder Commercial Universe Boutique, Mars Hall Studio. Catch us on Instagram, catch us on YouTube, catch us on all streaming platforms. This is the first episode of many to come. More content on the way. I'm gonna get a nice little release schedule together because we're gonna have Music Day review. I'm gonna have the end of the week update that I'm doing here, where we bring the news out and we go over what's going on. And I have some guests that I'm working on bringing in. If y'all have any suggestions, make sure y'all hit me up about it because I'm always all ears. I will do my work and my best to get in contact with everyone that emails and messages me. It is a process. It is time consuming, and the work shall be done. Because if I don't do the work, who will? I love your souls. I'll see y'all on the other side. Rise of the Lost. You know the Vibes Tribe. Peace.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.